some great entertainment here, so I hope you're sitting comfortably.
Wow! Good job I came, plus you get a great view from up here.
When you look at the difference between the sides, you have to wonder how many players will finish this match.
They should all finish it, but in what state? That's the point.
Three, two, one.
Bust up! Nice catch. Just look at the fans. They're red hot. A majority of supporters reckon that the league should take measures to prevent the small minority of peaceful fans from watching a match from the terraces.
They've got a point. If they don't want to join in the fun, they might as well stay home and watch it on Cablevision.
Did you know the Nurgle rotters went missing in the Sea of Ice in '88?
That's right, Bob. They drifted for years, all the players frozen stiff in huge blocks of ice.
Until some local fishermen boarded the vessel and brought it southwards. Once defrosted, they were quickly back in business.
That's right, Bob. By the time the boat arrived back to shore, the crew had become devoted fans, and the ship's cat transformed into a beast of Nurgle. It looks like nothing can stop the Nurgle's rotters. We can thank the Necromantic Broadcasting Circle for introducing the sport to so many necromancers.
That's true, Jim. Blood Bowl would surely be empty without howling werewolves and flesh golems and their replacement limbs.
Hold still and then pow! Right in the face! Looks like there was some bad blood between those two, eh, Bob?
Yeah, Jim. Something to do with swapped body parts. Every now and again, Blood Bowl throws up a real mixed bag of a team.
Like the Motley Horde that's made up of a bunch of misfits.
Yeah, can't be easy to coach those cast-offs every day of the week.
You can't say much about that.
Full-blooded, but perfectly legal.
That face job is a lot cheaper than a plastic surgeon.
I don't know if he planned it, but it won't do him any harm in the looks department.
Did you know one of the most unsportsmanlike Nurgle teams out there is the Decayed Renegade?
Oh, yeah, Jim. And they have a large appetite for foul play.
Let's hope for some of that action today, Bob.
Indeed, Jim.
player was really strong. Do you think they have some troll blood in them?
Could be. Or maybe his opponent shouldn't speak that way about the family.
Blood Bowl is reputedly the toughest of all sports.
So they say. But it really only comes down to taking a few hits.
Well, that's one with a good reason to go see the apothecary.
Yep, looks like he's gonna need a good one. I don't even think that his opponent made a move.
Ouch! Have a nice sleep.
Little baby gets his medicine, and he's having a little nap.
The Blood Bowl annals are littered with the stories of teams who've gone bust with crippling debts.
And with the cost of doping and bribery on the rise, the problem won't be going away.
Boom! In the face, and then followed by a clean uppercut. Well done!
He had a front row seat for that assault, but I doubt he could fully appreciate it.
He won't appreciate the gaping wound either. We don't see much of the heroes of law these days.
I don't know.
For any spectators who aren't aware, the heroes of law hope to show the world a better way by honest, strategic play on the pitch.
It's probably a good thing we don't see them.
Ouch! Right in the face. The other guy couldn't dodge that one.
What reputation, clobber. Something must be broken.
Probably nose, a few teeth, an arm. You know, regular stuff.
I've heard of teams that have simply disappeared after being abandoned by their supporters.
Let's say that some teams who haven't won a match for several years have been tied up by their fans and thrown into rubbish containers.
It's the only way to end a downward spiral.
Splendid! But it wasn't a good idea to insult them on the way past. The other one is really angry now. Yep, upside down. That's one way to look at things.
Corruption is so widespread that the Referees Guild has set up rules concerning where, when, and how one can accept a bribe.
Under an agreement signed last season, clubs are not allowed to offer less than the going rate.
Doping is really endemic in this sport.
Isn't it written into the game rules?
That reminds me of when I took Griff to bits in the '91 final against Reichland.
Oh, yeah. You kneecapped him. The opponent is left just flapping around.
That's what I call it. First touchdown in the box.
doesn't remember the Badlands Deadskins and their mummies back in the old days, Bob?
A very interesting story indeed, Jim. Apparently Javlok Kavlok, the head coach of the Deadskins, was unable to find some preserved mummies. So he fielded 2 flesh golems instead.
Indeed, Bob, and he clad them from head to toe in bandages. The players are positioned and we're... Today's insight comes from Jaime Schnivel, coach and owner of the Goblin Lowdown Rats team. In yesterday's Spike magazine, he said that Blood Bowl was like war. No winners, just survivors.
Oh, that's deep. About as deep as his team's position in the ranking.
He's got the ball! And don't forget, children, don't try and do this at home. Remember, these are seasoned professionals.
Well, one of them is anyway.
The Referees Guild has decided to hire a bodyguard for each game.
Another brilliant idea. And just how effective will one bodyguard be against a stadium full of supporters?
True, could be a bit one-sided. Was worthy of a Black Hawk.
You're telling me it'll take a while to get off.
He checked that move.
Made him look stupid to me.
Wizards have not always been able to cast spells safely from behind the sidelines. Were you playing at the time in an Albion League, a second division that prohibited spellcasting from off the pitch?
Oh, yes. They were great times. I remember fans traveling to games just to see how well Wizards stood up to the mad charge of a raving Blood Bowl star. The noise created by a sizzling fireball, followed by the characteristic sound of the snapping of a wizard's neck.
This player has opened the slapping box and gives rather generously. Do you remember when the first necromantic teams started to appear in the minor circuits, Bob?
Oh yeah, that sure was fun, Jim.
Especially when they fielded skeletons and werewolves at the same time, Bob.
I remember the werewolves kept running away with the skeleton's bones, much to the delight of the fans.
There's one that lets his biceps do the talking.
Yeah, but from his opponent's point of view, it was a short conversation.
Here we go, Nurgle style again, Bob.
Who can argue with some high-quality infectious foul play, Jim?
Indeed, Bob. Sure is funny to see the opposition trying to stay healthy when they play against a Nurgle team.
That's true, Jim. I think we're lucky commentating and watching the game from afar, Jim.
What finesse, what style, what perfection.
What a hammer blow! That should be part of a catching masterclass.
Nurgle, Nurgle, Nurgle. Why are Nurgle teams always so popular, Bob?
Because all their fans are infected, Jim. That player's gonna add a new scar to his collection.
That's why they're always on the front page of Spike magazine. Touchdown coming up. Let's go, guys.
Sum up that first half.
Well, you only have to see the dour looks on the faces of the orthopedic surgeons and dentists to realize that it lacked any real...
The ball's in play. The ball is in his hands.
Look over there. Some cute little elf beauties are selling Big Moot sandwiches in the stands.
Hey, I'm off to get one. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
And so now you like Big Moot sandwiches?
Ah, no way. A little elf? Yeah.
It seems this player does all the talking with the fists.
And they clearly know how to get heard.
Ouch! Oh, he's knocked him senseless.
You're assuming then that he had something between his ears to begin with. Wow, I can tell you straight, that hurts.
Did you know that the Grimjacks were the very first team to experiment with flesh golems instead of mummies?
Oh yeah, Bob. The famous flesh golem, Frankenstein, made a debut with that team.
Oh yeah, Jim. Frank, who lost count of his replacement limbs.
Wallop! Right on the spot.
He'll have a bit of trouble blowing his nose from now on.
As soon as he throws his first punch.
We know the opponent will be out for lunch. A recent medical report stated that cerebral hemorrhages were less frequent in Blood Bowl players. Amazing when you come to think of it.
Not really, when you consider that brains are also less frequent.
Incoming!
Well, it is a violent sport.
What violence!
Yes, it's a great spectacle, Bob. Did you hear about the Evil Gits? The team that is made up of the mix of evil players?
Their fans won the Most Evil Supporters of the Year award. Fully merited from what I've seen. Poetry in motion.
What we'd like to see
More often.
I don't know if we really like that uppercut.
He may not have liked it, but he certainly ate it. That's what happens when a pro crosses an amateur.
Yes, splotch.
Now that looks like a pretty serious injury.
Just a flesh wound.
4 inches deep. There was a time when the colleges of magic hadn't yet ruled on limiting wizard assistants to teams.
Who could forget the infamous 2472 Quagmire incident, when rampant spellcasting caused the entire Bright Crusaders Stadium to sink into the earth?
Nobody could forget that. People were blinded for miles around the stadium.
There's no way he's gonna score a touchdown, laid out on the pitch like that. rotting flesh. To some, it's a beautiful sight, Bob.
Don't forget the smell, Jim.
Oh, really? Thanks for reminding me. I didn't notice that pungent, acrid stench of death and bile. God. Blech. Did you know one of the most unsportsmanlike Nurgle teams out there is the Decayed Renegade?
Oh, yeah, Jim. And they have a large appetite for foul play.
Let's hope for some of that action today, Bob.
Indeed, Jim.
The Blood Bowl annals are littered with the stories of teams who've gone bust with crippling debts.
And with the cost of doping and bribery on the rise, the problem won't be going away. It's not looking good for the defense. I doubt that he'll be taking any further part in the match.
No, I'd say that the apothecary had his work cut out for him. I think she's singing him a lullaby.
Down and quite stunned, apparently.
Oh, a few slaps in the face and anybody can wake up instantly.
wizards have not always been able to cast spells safely from behind the sidelines. Were you playing at the time in an Albion League, a second division that prohibited spellcasting from off the pitch?
Oh, yes. They were great times. I remember fans traveling to games just to see how well wizards stood up to the mad charge of a raving Blood Bowl star. The noise created by a sizzling fireball, followed by the characteristic sound of the snap of a wizard's neck. There's an acrobatic routine worthy of a gold medal.
Yes, it's nice to see an uppercut followed by a double backflip. We don't see much of the Heroes of Law these days.
I don't know.
For any spectators who aren't aware, the Heroes of Law hope to show the world a better way by honest, strategic play on the pitch.
It's probably a good thing we don't see them. You think he'll be able to get up after that blow, Jim?
Oh, yes. He's not the sort to stay down. Did you hear about the Evil Gits? The team that is made up of the mix of evil players?
Their fans won the Most Evil Supporters of the Year award. Fully merited from what I've seen.
In a game as physical as this, the player is really in the right place.
Exactly. It's really ugly. Now, there's one that won't be coming back in a hurry.
Somebody had better stuff some smelling salts under his nose.
That won't do any good. He'll need extract of Nurgle to put him back on his feet. And eat the dust. It's good for you.
so widespread that the Referees Guild has set up rules concerning where, when, and how one can accept a bribe.
Under an agreement signed last season, clubs are not allowed to offer less than the going rate. He sent him down for a chat with the Astrogranite.
I doubt he'll be taking any further part in the match after that.
No, we've still got 2 legs. Blood Bowl is reputedly the toughest of all sports.
So they say, but it really only comes down to taking a few hits.
That face job is a lot cheaper than a plastic surgeon.
I don't know if he planned it, but it won't do him any harm in the looks department. Off together now. Touch. They go to defense in all directions before going through the net touchdown.
A subtle blend of agility and brute force. Do you remember when the first necromantic teams started to appear in the minor circuits, Bob?
Oh yeah, that sure was fun, Jim.
Especially when they fielded skeletons and werewolves at the same time, Bob.
I remember the werewolves kept running away with the skeleton's bones, much to the delight of the fans.
That's it. The ball's in play. There's gonna be trouble.
He sent him down for a chat with the Astrogranite.
It's a catch! Now this player just needs to survive!
Did you see the way he gazed up into the crowd as he was pushed off the pitch?
Yeah, it was a farewell look towards his wife.
She's not the one with the pitch for him.
No, that's the mother-in-law. There's no way he's gonna score a touchdown. Laid out on the pitch like that.
Did you know the Nurgle rotters went missing in the Sea of Ice in '88?
That's right, Bob. They drifted for years, all the players frozen stiff in huge blocks of ice.
Until some local fishermen boarded the vessel and brought it southwards. Once defrosted, they were quickly back in business.
That's right, Bob. By the time the boat arrived back to shore, the crew had become devoted fans, and the ship's cat transformed into a beast of Nurgle. It looks like nothing can stop the Nurgle's rotters.
You think he'll be able to get up after that blow, Jim?
Oh, yes. He's not the sort to stay down.
In the face, and then followed by a clean uppercut. Well done!
Players are far less resistant to collisions than they used to be.
That wasn't a collision. It was an assassination. A recent medical report stated that cerebral hemorrhages were less frequent in Blood Bowl players. Amazing, come to think of it.
Not really, when you consider that brains are also less frequent.
That's what fans pay out good money to see.
Yeah, and that high mark is fully justified.
If those big brutes have any intelligence, they'll learn from this defeat that sheer power is not always the key.
Too true. If they concentrated more on getting the ball than getting the man, it would be a step in the right direction. Major disappointment after a match in which they had the majority of possession.
So many missed chances, which just goes to show that the ball is not the key to the game.
They would have been better off to take care of the opposition.